if you are planning to take a loan in the near future anytime, the lender that you're going to be taking loan from is bound to provide you with all details regarding your loan, so there is no case for hidden costs or surprises in the future. RBI has mandated that from 1st of October 2024, the borrower will have to provide all information about the loan agreement, including interest and other costs upfront. The RBI on Monday said that the retail and micro, small, medium enterprises loan agreements will now require a key fact statement detailing all terms, including interest rates and additional costs. The KFS, or the key fact statement, will be provided in a standardized format, making it easier for borrowers like you and me to understand and make an informed view about executing that loan contract. The KFS will be in place from the beginning, before you show interest in the loan and before you actually execute that loan process. It is going to be valid, Kartik, for a couple of days depending on the tenure of the loan, but such a crucial, important measure to begin with. RBI making sure that people are not surprised after they've taken a loan, agreed to certain terms and conditions, are surprised later on when there is a revision.
Absolutely, and I think this has been in the making for many months now, and we've also reported this story in the past when it was at a proposal stage and not really an order, as it has now become that from 1st October this KFS will have to be provided by the lender to the borrower before even initiating conversations or the first set of signatures being inked on any sort of a contract. I think what the RBI under Governor Shaktikanta Das has vouched for and has delivered on is transparency. I think that is the one term which defines how the central bank wants banks in India to operate, and not just banks, NBFCs, fintech, payment aggregators, pretty much every institution which comes under the RBI's ambit. I think one key word which the RBI tries to derive from all its policy measures for the consumer is transparency. So I think this KFS is going to go a long way in ensuring transparency for end borrowers like you and me, who sometimes just get lured by the headline interest rate that if you want to take a home loan, that home loan is going to cost you 9.5%, let's say, right? We are right now in a high interest rate regime. So about 9.5%. The calculations that we make on a large loan that we want to take, we just look at the 9.5% as the interest rate and make our assumptions on how much we'll dish out every month on the basis of that one figure of 9.5%. What we don't take into account is the processing fee. What we don't take into account are foreclosure charges. What we don't take into account are any transfer from a fixed to a floating interest rate. How many times can we do it? Is it just once? Is it every time there is a tinkering of rates? Can I opt for it? So these details are often missing, and these details are often ambiguous, because even if you visit the branch, you speak to the branch manager, the relationship manager assigned to you, they will always, in their own benefit, try to dissuade you from taking a step, taking a decision which may favor you as a borrower individually, financially, but may not work in the interest of the bank. So getting that
like early foreclosures, for that
early
matter.
foreclosure, or shifting from a fixed to a floating interest rate, or closing the loan in one bank account, transferring it to another bank, another branch, as the case may be. I mean, even within branches, within the same city of the same branded bank, there is competition. How many loans have you been able to size? How many deposits have you been able to take? So, if you want to move your papers from one bank, your account from one bank to another bank, the kind of paperwork that goes in and the kind of fees that they scare you with makes it unviable for you to even consider those options.
All right.
So all of these, and it's not restricted only to home loans. I think personal loan, auto loan, MSME loans, retail loans,
all
institutional loans, all kind of loans, your headline interest rate will now be encompassing all of these other fees and all of these other elements which have stayed ambiguous all this while.
I think the most important point being in that circular from RBI is that every lender now will have to ensure that there is an acknowledgement from the borrower that they have read the KFS, they're okay with it, get that acknowledgement and then get them to sign on the loan.
Yep.
So it is incumbent on the lenders to take responsibility for ensuring that the borrowers know what the terms and conditions are.
Absolutely, but I think the responsibility cannot only rest with the lender. I think even borrowers need to put in that little bit of effort to read those key fact statements, right? Without those, if you're signing 100 papers every time you're taking a loan, if this is the 101st sheet in that, you will possibly just blindly sign it, assuming you don't have any control on it, you don't have any say in how these fees are going to, or how these structures are going to change in your favor or against yours. So I think it is incumbent on borrowers to read that document very clearly, understand, ask questions, consult an expert in the matter, a CA or somebody, before actually signing that one sheet. I mean, the rest of the terms and conditions in any case lock you in, and you have very little control on changing the language of the contract. But at least this one sheet should be understood very well before you go ahead and sign the document.
So next time you're taking a loan and you get hold of that key fact statement, make sure you read it thoroughly. It's going to be a simplified version of what's your loan terms and conditions going to entail, how much do you pay up, all the costs and charges, so that you're not surprised later on.